I still remember that night. I was driving home when the glare from oncoming headlights nearly blinded me. My hands clenched the wheel, my heart pounded, and for the first time, a terrifying thought crept in. Maybe it's time to stop driving. That hit me hard. Driving wasn't just about getting from point A to point B. It was my independence, my freedom. But was I really losing my ability, or was there something I could do? I wasn't ready to give up, so I started searching for answers. And what I found, 7 simple but powerful changes that transformed my confidence behind the wheel. Once I applied them, driving felt natural again, safer, easier, and today I'm sharing them with you. But before we dive in, if you want real practical ways to stay independent and strong as you age, hit that subscribe button. Let's make aging better together. Secret 1. The glare fighting trick that made night driving easier. I used to love evening drives, but then something changed. The headlights from oncoming cars started feeling like flashlights, aimed straight at my eyes. The glare was blinding, and I found myself squinting, gripping the wheel tighter, and feeling completely on edge. It wasn't just annoying, it was dangerous. At first I thought, maybe my eyesight is just getting worse. But then I realized something. The problem wasn't just my eyes, it was how I was looking at the road and how I prepared for night driving. Here's what changed everything for me. Stop looking directly at oncoming headlights. This sounds obvious, but most people don't realize how much they stare straight into oncoming traffic at night, especially on 2-lane roads. I learned to focus slightly to the right, using the white line or the edge of the road as a guide. This kept me in my lane while reducing direct exposure to the glare. The secret weapon, yellow-tinted night driving glasses. I had no idea these existed until I started researching. Yellow-tinted night driving glasses help reduce glare from LED and halogen headlights, making it easier to see road details without being blinded. The difference was night and day, literally. Just make sure to get a high-quality anti-reflective pair, not just any cheap ones online. A simple yet overlooked fix. Keep your windshield and headlights clean. I'll admit it, I wasn't cleaning my windshield as often as I should. But I learned that even a thin layer of dust, smudges, or streaks can scatter light and make glare much worse. A quick wipe with a microfiber cloth and glass cleaner made a surprising difference. And headlights? They also get covered in dirt and grime, reducing how well they illuminate the road. I started cleaning them regularly and even upgraded to brighter, clearer bulbs. Suddenly I could see better, and other drivers could see me better too. Many cars have a little lever or automatic setting on the rear view mirror that reduces glare from cars behind you. It's a small adjustment, but it helps cut down on the bright reflections from high beams in your mirror. Once I started applying these simple tricks, night driving felt easier, safer, and far less stressful. No more tensing up every time a car approached. No more second-guessing if I should still be on the road at night. And if you struggle with night glare, try these out and let me know in the comments what's helped you the most. Secret 2, the simple seat and mirror adjustment that gave me a better view. For years, I thought driving was getting harder because of my age. Turns out it wasn't me, it was my seat and mirror setup. I had no idea that a few small tweaks could completely change how well I saw the road. But once I made these adjustments, game changer, I went from feeling unsure behind the wheel to driving with confidence again. And the best part? It took less than 5 minutes to fix. 1, raise your seat slightly for a better road view. One day, a driving instructor told me something shocking. Most people drive with their seat too low. When your seat is too low, you struggle to see over the hood properly, which means more blind spots and less control over your surroundings. Here's what I did. I adjusted my seat height so I could see at least 3 inches over the steering wheel. This gave me a wider field of view and helped me spot pedestrians, curbs, and road signs more easily. I checked my knee position. If your knees are too bent or too straight, it means your seat isn't in the optimal position. I adjusted mine so my knees stayed slightly bent for better reaction time and comfort. I moved my seat forward just enough to keep my foot relaxed on the pedals. This helped reduce leg fatigue on longer drives. After making this simple tweak, I could see the road more clearly, and driving instantly felt easier. 2. Adjust your side mirrors to eliminate blind spots. For years, I made the same mistake almost everyone makes. I set my side mirrors so I could see part of my car. Sounds normal, right? Wrong, that's actually why I had blind spots. Here's the right way to adjust them. Lean your head toward the driver's side window and adjust your left mirror until you just barely stop seeing the side of your car. Lean toward the center of the car and adjust your right mirror the same way. Now, when a car leaves your rearview mirror, it will appear in your side mirrors instantly, eliminating blind spots. This one trick made lane changes and merging so much safer. No more awkward over-the-shoulder checking or last-minute surprises. 3. Tilt the rearview mirror slightly down to reduce glare. One of the worst parts of night driving? The blinding headlights from cars behind me. I used to squint or try shifting my head, but then I learned about a simple fix built into most cars. Most rearview mirrors have a night mode or manual tilt adjustment. Flipping the small lever at the bottom of the mirror angles it slightly downward, reducing glare without blocking your view. Some newer cars have an auto-dimming feature if yours does. Make sure it's turned on. This tiny adjustment made driving at night so much more comfortable. No more distractions from bright lights in my mirror. After making these seat and mirror adjustments, I felt like I had a whole new driving experience. I could see more, react faster, and drive with confidence again. Secret 3, the reflex-boosting exercise that made me react faster. One day, I was driving through an intersection when a car suddenly ran a red light. I saw it, but my foot didn't hit the brake as fast as I wanted. It was only a split second, but in driving, a split second can be everything. That moment scared me. Was my reaction time slowing down? Was I losing the quick instincts I had for years? At first I blamed aging, but then I discovered something surprising. Reaction time isn't just about age, it's about training your brain and body to stay sharp. And the best part, it only takes 2 minutes a day to improve it. 1. Try ball toss drills, a simple trick to sharpen reflexes. I came across a study that showed professional athletes use this trick to keep their reflexes lightning fast. If it works for them, why not for everyday drivers like us? How to do it. Stand a few feet from a wall. Toss a tennis ball against it at an angle and catch it with the opposite hand. Switch hands and repeat for 1 minute. This exercise forces your brain and body to react quickly, just like you need to do when driving. The first time I tried it, I fumbled the ball a few times, but within days, I could feel my reaction time improving. 2. Do finger tapping exercises, proven to speed up your brain's processing time. This one surprised me. Scientists use finger tapping tests to measure brain function and reflex speed, and by simply practicing it, you can improve how fast your brain reacts to sudden situations. How to do it. Place your hands on a table or your lap. Tap your fingers as fast as you can for 30 seconds. Repeat with the other hand. It may feel silly, but it works. The faster your fingers move, the quicker your brain is firing signals, just like it does when you need to react while driving. 3. Practice quick braking drills in an empty parking lot. I realized that knowing when to brake isn't enough. Your body needs to be trained to do it instantly. So I started practicing quick braking drills, and the difference was immediate. How to do it safely. Find an empty parking lot or a safe open space. Drive at a low speed, 10-15 mph, and pick a marker like a parking line or cone. As soon as you reach the marker, press the brake as quickly and smoothly as possible. Repeat a few times to build muscle memory. This drill helped me react without hesitation when a real emergency happened. It trained my foot to hit the brake the moment I needed it, without overthinking. After just a few weeks of doing these simple exercises, I noticed a huge difference. I felt more alert behind the wheel. My hands moved to the wheel faster in tight situations, and I felt in control again. And when another car pulled out unexpectedly one day, My foot hit the brake instantly. No delay, no panic. So if you've ever felt like your reaction time isn't what it used to be, don't worry. It's something you can train. Secret 4. The best way to handle roundabouts and busy intersections without stress. I used to feel completely overwhelmed at busy intersections and roundabouts. Cars moving from every direction, impatient drivers honking, and that sinking feeling of, do I go now? Do I wait? I hated that hesitation. I either felt like I was being too slow or that I was rushing into traffic. It made me dread driving in high traffic areas. But then I discovered a simple strategy that took the stress away. Once I started using these 3 tricks, I felt calm, in control, and more confident behind the wheel. On count to 3, before entering a roundabout, the secret to smooth merging. One of my biggest mistakes at roundabouts, either entering too quickly or waiting too long. Both can cause problems. One makes you unpredictable to other drivers, and the other can frustrate the cars behind you. Here's the trick that changed everything. As I approach the roundabout, I do a 3-second check. I scan left to see oncoming traffic. I count 1, 2, 3 to make a calm, clear decision. Do I go or do I wait? This short pause gave my brain just enough time to process the flow of traffic, so I stopped second-guessing myself. It also stopped me from rushing in at the wrong moment. Suddenly, roundabouts felt predictable and easy. 2. Keep a 3-second following distance, your safety buffer in traffic. One of the biggest stress points in traffic, tailgaters and sudden stops. I found myself constantly tapping the brakes, worried I wouldn't stop in time if traffic slowed down suddenly. Then I learned about the 3-second rule, a simple way to create a natural safety buffer. Pick a fixed object ahead, like a street sign or a tree. When the car in front of you passes it, start counting 1001, 1002, 1003. If you pass the same object before finishing the count, you're too close. Ease off the gas. This technique gave me more time to react and reduced my stress levels. No more white-knuckle driving and no more worrying about sudden braking. 3. Use the stop, look, listen and go method for busy intersections. Intersections used to make my heart race, especially unprotected left turns and 4-way stops. I always felt pressure to move quickly, but sometimes I wasn't sure if I had enough time. Then I learned a simple mental checklist. Stop completely. Even at rolling stops, take a brief pause to clear your mind. Look in every direction, not just left and right, but also for pedestrians, bikers, and turning cars. Listen for approaching vehicles. Sometimes you'll hear them before you see them. Go only when you feel fully confident, not when you feel pressured by other drivers. This technique stopped me from making rush decisions. I took a breath, assessed the situation, and moved only when I knew it was safe. And guess what? Other drivers actually respected me more because I wasn't hesitating or making unpredictable moves. Secret 5, the one food change that sharpened my focus behind the wheel. I never thought about how my diet affected my driving. I always assumed that focus and reaction time were just things that changed with age. But then something strange happened. One morning, I had a big sugary breakfast, pancakes, syrup, and a cup of coffee. An hour later, I got in my car and suddenly I felt off. My energy crashed, my focus was fuzzy, and my reaction time felt slower. That's when I realized what I ate was affecting how well I drove. So, I started paying attention to what foods helped me stay alert behind the wheel. And once I made this one change, my focus improved dramatically. 1. Eat omega-3 rich foods for sharper brain function. I started reading about foods that support brain health, and one thing kept coming up: omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are like fuel for your brain. They improve memory, focus, and even reaction time, and they're incredibly easy to add to your diet. Fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and trout, a great source of brain-boosting omega-3s. Walnuts, just a handful before driving, can sharpen focus. Flax seeds and chia seeds, perfect for sprinkling into oatmeal or yogurt. After just a few weeks of adding these foods to my diet, I noticed something amazing. I felt more alert behind the wheel, no more zoning out at stoplights or feeling mentally sluggish on long drives. 2. Stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration slows reaction time. I used to go hours without drinking water, especially on long drives. I'd get a dry mouth, feel sluggish, and sometimes even get a headache. But I never connected it to my driving until I learned that dehydration actually makes it harder to concentrate and react quickly. Drink a glass of water before getting in the car. It keeps your mind sharp. Carry a reusable water bottle. Sip throughout the day instead of waiting until you're thirsty. Limit coffee and soda before driving. They dehydrate you more than they hydrate. Once I started drinking enough water, I felt noticeably more focused behind the wheel. My eyes felt less strained, and I didn't get that afternoon foggy brain feeling anymore. 3. Avoid high sugar meals before driving. They cause energy crashes and brain fog. High sugar foods give you an energy spike, but then you crash. Your brain slows down, your focus drifts, and you react more sluggishly. It's the last thing you want when you're behind the wheel. Here's what I do now. I swap sugary breakfasts for protein-rich meals, like eggs, nuts, and whole grains. I choose snacks that keep my energy steady, like almonds or cheese instead of cookies. I avoid sugary drinks before driving. Instead, I go for water or unsweetened tea. This one change made a huge difference. No more mid-drive brain fog, no more zoning out at intersections, just focused energy. After making this simple food change, my driving focus completely transformed. I felt sharper, reacted faster, and gained control behind the wheel. Secret 6. The best car features that make driving safer and what to avoid. For years, I thought all the new car technology was just making driving easier. But then, I realized something surprising. Some features actually made driving harder and more distracting. One day, I rented a newer car for a road trip. It had a massive touchscreen, a fancy digital dashboard, and all sorts of smart features. But within the first hour, I felt more distracted than ever. I kept glancing at the screen, fumbling with settings, and trying to figure out why the steering felt different. That's when it hit me. Not all car features are helpful. Some actually make driving more dangerous. So, I started looking at cars differently, focusing on the features that actually improve safety and ignoring the ones that just add distractions. And here's what I found. 1. Use blind spot warning systems. They're a game changer. One of the best safety features I've ever used, blind spot warning systems. No matter how well I adjust my mirrors, there are always areas I can't see. And with today's busy roads, one wrong merge can lead to a disaster. That's why blind spot monitoring is one of the best features for older drivers. What it does, a small light appears in your side mirror when a car is in your blind spot. Some cars even beep if you try to merge too soon. Why it helps? It gives an extra layer of protection, reducing the risk of sideswiping another car. What to watch out for? Don't rely only on the system. Still do a quick shoulder check before merging. Since using this feature, I feel so much more confident when changing lanes. It's like having an extra pair of eyes on the road. 2. Adjust steering wheel sensitivity. Some cars are too light to control. When I first drove a newer car, I noticed something strange. The steering felt too easy, almost too light. I barely touched the wheel, and the car swerved more than I expected. Turns out, many modern cars have overly sensitive steering, which can actually make them harder to control, especially at high speeds. What to do? Check if your car has an adjustable steering mode. Some allow you to set it to heavier for better control. If your car feels too light, drive with both hands on the wheel and make small controlled movements. Test drive before buying. When shopping for a car, pay attention to how the steering feels. Some models handle better than others. Once I adjusted the steering, I felt much more in control, especially on the highway. 3. Avoid overly complex touchscreens. They take your eyes off the road. At first, I thought a big touch screen would make things easier. No more fumbling with buttons, right? Wrong. Instead, I found myself spending too much time looking at the screen and not enough time looking at the road. Why touch screens can be dangerous. Unlike physical buttons, they require you to look, meaning more time with your eyes off the road. What to avoid? Cars that replace all controls like AC and volume with touchscreen-only options. Best alternative? If possible, use voice commands or physical knobs instead of tapping a screen while driving. Secret 7. The confidence-boosting mindset shift that changed everything. For a while, I thought my biggest problem was my driving skills. Maybe my reflexes weren't as fast, or my coordination wasn't what it used to be. But then I realized something that changed everything. The real problem wasn't my skills, it was my mindset. Every time I hesitated at an intersection or second-guessed myself in traffic, it wasn't because I couldn't drive. It was because I started believing I couldn't. I kept telling myself, maybe I'm too old for this. But the moment I changed that thought, my confidence came back. And here's how you can do the same. 1. Stop telling yourself, I'm too old to drive. Skills can be sharpened at any age. One day I caught myself thinking, maybe I shouldn't be driving anymore. But then I asked myself, why? Was it because I actually couldn't drive? Or was it because I'd heard so many people say, older drivers are slow or seniors shouldn't be on the road? The truth is, age isn't the issue. It's experience and awareness. And the more you drive, the more you keep those skills sharp. Confidence starts with belief. If you tell yourself you're losing your abilities, you'll hesitate more. Remind yourself of your strengths. You have decades of experience, and that matters. Driving is a skill, not just an age-related ability, and skills can be improved. Once I stopped doubting myself, I noticed something amazing. I drove better. My hands were steadier on the wheel. My decisions were quicker, and I actually felt comfortable behind the wheel again. 2. Take a refresher driving course. It helps boost confidence and skill. One of the smartest things I did. I signed up for a short refresher driving course, and it made all the difference. I learned small adjustments that instantly made driving easier, like better mirror positioning, updated traffic rules, and defensive driving techniques. Plus, just being in a car with an instructor reminded me that I still had the skills. I just needed to trust them. Look for local senior driving courses. Many community centers and organizations offer them. Try an online driving refresher, great for learning new road safety techniques from home. Even one session can make a difference. Sometimes all you need is a little reassurance. After that course, I felt recharged behind the wheel. My hesitation was gone and I felt like I was back in control. 3. Stay active and practice good habits. It keeps you sharp. Here's something most people don't realize. Physical and mental sharpness directly impact driving. When I started doing simple exercises, like stretching my neck and shoulders before driving, I noticed my movements felt smoother. When I started doing memory-boosting activities, I reacted faster at stop signs. Little things made a big difference. Walk or do light exercise daily. It improves circulation, flexibility, and focus. Practice memory and reaction exercises. Things like crossword puzzles or even quick reflex drills help. Stay well rested before driving. Fatigue slows reaction time, no matter your age. Driving well isn't just about knowing the rules of the road. It's about staying sharp, confident, and prepared. And the best part? You have the power to improve every single day. Once I stopped doubting myself, refreshed my skills, and took care of my body and mind, my driving changed completely. No more hesitation, no more second guessing, just confidence, control, and the freedom to go wherever I wanted. So, if you've ever thought, maybe I shouldn't be driving anymore, ask yourself, is it really your skills, or is it just your mindset? Because if you still love the road, you can stay on it safely. Let me know in the comments, what's one thing that makes you feel more confident behind the wheel? Aging doesn't mean giving up the things we love. It just means adapting, learning, and staying sharp. And when it comes to driving, a few small changes can make all the difference. So, here's my question for you. Which of these driving tips surprised you the most? Or maybe you have your own trick that helps you feel more confident behind the wheel. Drop a comment below. I read everyone. Let's share our experiences and help each other stay independent on the road. And if you know someone who's struggling with their confidence behind the wheel, share this with them, because independence doesn't have to end with age. It just takes the right knowledge. And if you're ready to keep driving safely, staying independent, and making the most of every year, hit that subscribe button now. Let's make aging better together.